Hello, my name is Elle, and welcome back to the spiritual side of YouTube. Today I want to talk all about spiritual fear mongering and how it hinders you from reaching your highest self, your highest potential. And the reason I want to talk about this is because this is something that I've struggled with strongly in the past. And although fear does not just go away, I still have fearful moments, but I have courage over those fears to continue to go, because I know that a lot of my fears are based off of fear mongering and religious trauma and religious fear that was placed upon me since I was an adolescent until now. So it's not an easy fix. But if you are on your spiritual journey and you find yourself very fearful of the things that you want to do, maybe it's tarot cards and you want to divine and connect with your ancestors. You want to do mirror work to manifest things in your life. You want to meditate and you have a lot of fear or trauma around doing certain things, because not only could it be religious trauma from the past that tell you that it's demonic or wrong, but it also could be spiritual people that you find online trying to instill fear on you why you need to do X, Y, and Z because you don't want just anything coming at you. Make sure you're always protected. You have to make sure you use a certain candle and water, etc. in order for things to work out properly. Then this video is for you. First and foremost, I'm going to read the definition of fear mongering so that we're all on the same page. Fear-mongering is the action of deliberately arousing public fear or alarm about a particular issue. So fear-mongering is intentional. It is meant to startle you into urgency and to prevent you from doing the things that you once wanted to do. And when it comes to spiritual fear-mongering, what I have seen a lot, especially on TikTok. TikTok is the worst place to get your spiritual information because it's so many different spiritual beliefs. And once you get on a certain side of TikTok, let's say like witch talk or spiritual talk, it's all conflicting viewpoints. On one end, there could be someone talking about how mirror work is so amazing, etc. And then on the other hand, you'll go into the comments and be like, oh, you guys need to make sure you're very, very careful. And you need to make sure that you lock your mirrors because you don't want any entity just coming to get you in your sleep. And now you're scared to ever look at yourself in a mirror. I know, because that happened to me at the start of my spiritual journey. And I am a person who grew up with mirrors always facing my bed. I've always looked at mirrors, and I've never in my life had an issue or consistent nightmares about anything, and I was always fine. Meanwhile, there are other people who had a totally different view when they have mirrors facing their bed, and that's because spirituality is a personal journey for yourself. So when you are diving into your spiritual journey, it's very important to practice. I feel like the first things that you really should practice, one is getting that knowledge from not social media, but books. Read books, and build your intuition, build that knowing within yourself. Because once you know something, then nothing can hinder you from doing the thing that you know is right for yourself, right? So when it comes to, let's say, going back to that mirror stuff, because I myself always grew up with mirrors facing me and I've never had an issue to this day. Even now with me doing glamour magic, I always look at myself in my eyes and do mirror work. And I know that there are some people who can't look at the mirror, who fear the mirror, and they're not wrong, but neither am I. Because spirituality is very personal. My personal belief is that our minds are the power, and not just our minds, but also sources, because source runs through us. So pulling back, all of these things, I'm not saying that they're not real and that, oh, it's just all made up in your head, but it's more so like whatever you put your energy into will be true. Where energy flows, intention goes, right? So if you are constantly fearing that, if you Shadow, stop messing with my own yarn. So if you're constantly fearing that, and when you look into a mirror, you're going to see like evil things looking back at you, then it will be true. But if you look at everything with love, and I don't mean like love and light, but if you truly surrender and look at yourself with love and you set a specific intention to do this, then that other stuff is not going to happen unless you just truly believe it to be. And a lot of the things that you fear were placed upon you because someone else told you to fear it. And that, I feel like that's the biggest issue, because intuition doesn't have fear based off of what others told you. Intuition is so natural. It's a knowing. You just know, oh, I shouldn't be here. It's like that gut feeling of just knowing, oh, this isn't what I should be doing. I shouldn't be messing with mirror magic, or I shouldn't be going into this club or lounge, or I shouldn't go out with my friends tonight. I just have this feeling I need to stay home. That is a knowing. That is your intuition. Fear is that anxiety of like, oh, what if this happens? What if that? If you start to manifest, if your thoughts start to run in your head about what if, then that could be associated, one, with anxiety, and two, fear mongering, because you wouldn't have never thought of those what if scenarios if people didn't place them upon you from doing research on your spiritual journey. And that goes to the next thing, why it's very important when you are doing or starting your spiritual journey, is to limit the access of knowledge that you take in. You need to build up your intuition and knowing of like, who are the type of creators that you can trust. And TikTok might not be the place, because let's be real, that is such short content that's just so quick, that doesn't really dive deep on why, and why do you believe this, and is this a cultural thing that you believe, etc. Is this a closed practice? You know what I'm saying? So when you are finding someone, limit yourself to maybe 2 or 3 people that you can focus on, that helps you raise your vibration and raise your knowledge and not strip you down. Because I feel like when I was on my spiritual journey, I was heavily on Witch Talk, and now I just try to limit myself on TikTok altogether, because Witch Talk was just full of, a lot of the stuff was, I will say, kind of helpful or amusing, because it's entertaining to watch stories about others. But on the other hand, it also brought fear into my mind, and thinking like, oh, like I never thought of that. Like I was doing that. Like, what if this happens? So to go back over everything that I said so far, it's to make sure you read, make sure your main focal point of gaining spiritual knowledge is through books and reading, or maybe audible books. What is it called? Audiobooks. And limit the amount of people that you watch on social media that aligns with your spirituality. And remember that fear mongering is meant to keep you low vibrational from reaching your highest self. Now, I could go into a conspiracy theory if I wanted to and be like, oh, they're intentionally trying to keep you down because they know that there's power in spirituality and they don't want you to have your power. So they limit you by letting you know that if you do X, Y, and Z, this horrible thing will happen to you. So now you're too scared to even reach that potential. When really, when you get to that level, it's going to open up a whole new world, and you're going to glow and grow spiritually, right? Another thing, so outside of fear mongering, we got that out the way. So when it comes to, you already have the fears, right? So you're watching this, you already have the fears, and you're like, okay, but I've already been watching these, and I don't know how to get rid of this fear within inside me. I got you, okay? Because listen, that was me. That was me. That is still me, but I just pushed past that because I don't care anymore. I don't care about that feeling of fear. But if you're somebody who still care, I got you. The first thing that you need to do is, one, knowledge, because knowledge literally cures fears. When you're fearful of something, is because it's unknown to you. You've never done it before, and you're scared of the outcome of what other people said. So when you learn through books, right? You learn about your mental, you learn about psychology and like how the mind works and how powerful it is and how you can make your own reality. Then you realize that, okay, maybe that is true for them, but that's because they was making their own reality and they brought that negativity to themselves. But I ain't on that vibe, and I wasn't on that when I started. I just feel it now because they put that fear into me. Cool, we got that checked out. So now let's focus on the fear. So you're slowly starting to get out of that a little bit from that knowledge that you learned. You're feeling better. Stay away from social media that causes you to be fearful. A lot of times what I like to do is, if I do want to get on social media just for the heck of it, I always kind of like put my intentions into my phone to say only high vibrational things will appear to me to raise up my spirits, and nothing that causes fear or anxiety will ever show on my screen. So if you just are just like, you need to be on social media now, do that. Okay, make sure you set your intentions before you even open it up, so that way you are only shown things that are positive and raises your vibration, then lowers it. But if you can, just stay off social media for a while. You need to recalibrate your nervous system, recalibrate all of that, and focus on positive things in your life, and focus on like manifesting and the signs that you see from manifesting, because a lot of times we forget how powerful we are, but when we do small things and we see signs, we start to remember, like, I do have the power, you know? So if you're constantly seeing signs of the things that you manifest, like let's say it's a specific card, like you just love this certain type of card. For me, it's punch buggies. Whenever I see a punch buggy, I know I'm on the right path to all of my desires coming true. And I see punch buggies every single day since I like sat down and said I'm going to see them to let me know that. So you can manifest like a certain card, so every time you go out, you'll probably see it passing. And you start to build up that confidence and that self-trust within yourself, and to the point where your courage outweighs that fear. And then you can start doing baby steps into whatever you want to do. So if it's spell work that you're scared of doing, or let's bring it back, and let's say you want to do divination and connect with your ancestors, and let's say you're going to use tarot cards, and you're scared because you're like, oh, like, you know, what if I'm not connecting to my ancestors? You need to make sure that your courage is already over than your fears, right? And so when you're in that courage, you want to sit and meditate and like amplify that energy of courage and protection. You light that candle. That candle and all of these steps that they tell you need to do is nothing more but for you to believe in yourself. So you light a white candle because you believe that is what's going to connect you divinely to your divine ancestors, both known and unknown, that you can communicate with, who are here for your highest good. And the thing that I love to say, because I like to keep it short and cute, because I believe energy is more important than words, as I'm shuffling my tarot cards, I like to say, my divine ancestors, both known and unknown, I ask for your protection and your connection. Meaning I ask that you protect me, put like a veil around me, so that and connection, so that I am the only one connecting to you, and I'm not connecting to anyone else. So, you know, words matter, is how you feel. So as you're doing that, and then just ask questions that are like positive, like I think when I started off, a thing that I like to do is just ask like, what should I work on for today? And I pull one card, because it helps you train your mind to like be intuitive when you look at those cards, so that when you see that card, it's best to, before you even like research and look it up, to look at that card and feel what you think it means before even looking it up, because that's how you build your intuition. And a lot of times your intuition will tell you before you even pull the card. So it's good to like focus your attention on how you feel before you even pull it, and as you pull it and look upon it, and that first feeling that you get, and kind of like say what you think it is, like say, oh, blah 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 blah, right? And then you can look it up online, I guess, or on your phone, whatever, to confirm what it actually means. And if it's even close, then that means your intuition was on point, right? And so you just do that and build yourself up every day. And now you're very comfortable with tarot. I'm very comfortable with pulling tarot cards and speaking to my ancestors. And then it was spell work, because I was so scared. Oh, what if it backfires? What if it backfires? Backfiring, for me, I can't speak for anyone else in this spiritual journey, but my personal realization of spell work is literally a creative way to manifest. It is a way to manifest or meditate with a specific focus into getting your desired outcome. So spell work is also like an art form, and I'm very creative, and that's why I've always been drawn to spell work, because I love painting. I put spell work in the paintings that I do. So I love to do other types of spell work, like making my own oils and putting my energy into it, and my, all of that into it. So what I like to do there is I maybe start off with protection work, or something that's you don't feel too fear based about, like beauty work. Oh, I'm so gorgeous, I'm so beautiful, etc. Put those energies, put protection into it, because honestly, if the whole point of it in my eyes is to feel it real. So if you're constantly doing protection work on yourself and you're actually feeling it real and building that energy of knowing you're protected, you're untouchable, you're impenetrable, nothing can get through you, you are highly protected, your ancestors surround you, you surround yourself, then you're going to start to believe that, and your protection, that feeling of knowing nothing can harm you, nothing can touch you, will grow. So maybe start with protection work and do that consistently, like once a week, or once a week as in like spell work. And then you can enchant yourself every single day. But like when you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, you can speak protection over yourself. When you're in the shower, you can say, I'm cleansed of any negative energy, and putting on your lotion. That's your armor of protection. Just constantly bigging yourself up on protection and letting that seep into your subconscious to know that you're protected no matter what. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. Just continue on your journey, and I won't say like push away your fears or fight through them, but show them love. Show that you understand it, that you feel it, that you love it, send that whatever negative energy that you have. I feel like it's very important to acknowledge it without any judgment and let it be in the moment. If you feel anxious or fearful in that moment, then sit with yourself, feel that energy, and just let your mind do what it wants to do, and you be the observer. You observe those thoughts as they come and as they go. Don't place any extra thoughts in your head, but let them come, and slowly the thoughts will start to fade, and you're going to start to feel less fearful and less anxious. And that's when you want to send yourself love and tell yourself that you feel the fear, and you acknowledge it, and you accept it, and you love it, and you understand it. And that'll help you in that moment to kind of transmute that fear into that love and protective energy. Because let's be real, your higher self is here to protect you. Like, this is just your body. The reason that you fear is your ego. That is just your body. But the true you, the I am, the observer of it all, is just an observer. They don't fear anything. They just observe. So build that protection up. Talk to yourself, and it will get better. I promise you. Just continue at it and take your baby steps if you need to. It's okay to take a break, because let's be real, it's called a spiritual journey. You're not always going to just go straight up. You're going to have dips and dips and dips, right? So be okay with you regressing, because regression is still progression, right? I really hope you guys like this video. I hope that helped you in anything that you're struggling with in your spiritual journey. If there's any type of spiritual content that you want me to speak on next, let me know down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and again, to reiterate, my name is Elle. If you are new, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you like this video, click subscribe if you are new. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Stay magical.